I went to that game, bottom of the ninth inning. We down by 1. Dude on first, 2 outs, full count. That dude hit that ball, so I think he must have hit that ball to Peachtree. She went crazy. Everybody in the stadium went crazy. Ah!
And them tickets went crazy too.
Them tickets went crazy. Here she go. Then my wife said, hey, you know what? We going to the World Series. I said, baby. I said, baby, look. This is a true story. I said, baby, this is what we're going to have to do. I'm going to have to come up with a number for you that's going to make it all right. But these, they got to go. And I literally took that money and paid off a lot of debt.
Yeah.
I literally like sold them in the market, took the proceeds, and just went over here and said, boop, and that was paid off. Paid my car off.
Yeah.
Paid my car off early. So I was like, and ever since then, I always thought, I said, dang, so if you, because working, especially if you working, you know, you're doing active, right? You make an active income, but if you got something, crypto was the same way. When I first learned about crypto, I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but I kept saying like, why is this thing going, it went from what? Because people, when they got exposed to crypto, to me, they just, like, investors used to be excited about getting like 8% a year. These cats was talking about, what? 40% in a month? I said, 40%?
In a day.
I was like, I said, wait a minute, do what? I said, man, I got to put something on him. I got to put something on that just because, right? Just because of the mindset of where we came from with like, if you was getting 8% year over year, you was like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I said, wow, let me put a little bit over there. A little bit came. What I started doing, taking that, paying off stuff. So I just want people to be, I want them to be able to understand, like, if nothing else, you got to get started, right?
That's the key.
You got to get started.
That's the key.
And another question I had for you was when we talk about, because like our platform, we dealing with students. So how, in your recommendation or in your experience, how young can somebody get started being an investor?
Man, you can start kids. I remember when my son was, he was actually in the 3rd grade at the time, but the school's having this, the elementary school's having this big thing with, you know, the standardized testing. They wanted kids to really embrace math and get their math scores up. So I came to the principal and I was like, well, you know, why don't I teach them how to invest? You know, to, you know, take a group of kids and teach them how to invest and apply that to math. So, because, you know, it makes it real world. Because, you know, people learn by real world applicable things. Like math don't mean nothing if I can't apply it to my everyday world, right?
Correct.
So, long story short, I took some 5th graders. It was probably about 15, 20 5th graders. And there was a little after school program we created. And I taught them how to invest. And we did it during the same time as because the Georgia, I don't know if they still do it, but Georgia runs this for the high schoolers. They run this investing stock market game once a year. It's usually around this time of the year. I don't know if they still do it, but at that time they were doing it. And so I just signed up, you know, like we were the high schoolers, but they were actually 5th graders. So we was competing with high schoolers, you know, and they moved their portfolios, you know, from 5th grade kids not knowing absolutely nothing about stocks to learning, understanding how to value companies, how to look at companies, how to buy shares, all that. So, and they were in the 5th grade.